Hello guys and welcome back to another Gothic 2 returning video with me Slivers. Today we're gonna talk about the Dark Knight, and I don't mean Batman, but it is a profession that the modders added in one of the recent patches in June last year, and we're gonna show you how to get this profession as in a main guild of the game. First, we're gonna have to get some sleep because it has something to do with the quest that was given by Lothar once you got into the upper quarter called Nightmare Cemetery. So once you get to sleep and sleep until at least 11 p.m., you can go on your way to the cemetery that's right next to the city of Corinus. And there, first pick up everything that you can see amongst dark mushrooms and all the herbs. But once you get through that, there are gonna be two mole rats that are gonna spawn, and that's what's disturbing the restless citizens at night. It's just the noise of the mole rats. There's quite a few things that you can pick up here at the cemetery, honestly. I was very surprised that they added so many herbs that can help you along your journey. Next up is going back to Lothar and telling him what you found out. It's pretty straightforward from here because most of the stuff are written in the diary, so you might as well read on if you miss something. So I'm gonna sleep over until morning because we need to talk to somebody nearby this house. And that is Fenia, which is basically Halvar's wife. Fenia will then tell you that she has seen somebody with the girl that a necromancer murdered, part of the quest. Lothar will then tell you to speak with Grida, which is one of the quartermaster's daughter. Grida will then tell you to ask about the girl that was murdered down at the harbor base, so you might as well go talk to Cardiff, because he always has an eye open, and you're gonna give him 30 gold just to get something out of him. But it's all well worth it. Cardiff will then tell you to go to the warehouse of the harbor district, and on the bottom floor you're gonna find a piece of clothing called an attire of something in Russian that I can't read. Then you have to go back to Lothar again, and you will have some news for him. Lothar will then appoint you to talk to Constantino because a guy called the Regalian, which is the necromancer in question, was Constantino's apprentice at one point. But Constantino hasn't seen him in weeks, days, months. We don't know how time passes in this game. Next up is the caretaker of the cemetery that will tell you nothing, basically, because he was paid by Regalian to stay quiet. I even checked my quest log here just in case I missed something. You're gonna have to check the cemetery again at night after this point, so you might as well go back to sleep and sleep again until about 11 in the evening. Between 11 and midnight is fine. You can even go later if you so wish. Here somebody will appear called the Unknown and will immediately attack you once you stop talking. But he's not that hard to beat, so just make sure you avoid his attacks. Once you defeat him, there will be a note on him, and which you need to read. It was from Regalian himself, and don't forget to pick up a strange bone that will spawn nearby as well. Once you have it, you go to Xardas, which will tell you that this has something to do with necromancy.
Yeah.
I again checked the quest log and I have to go back to Lothar to report my finding. Lothar will now tell you to kill Regalian, which you will find back at the cemetery. But be warned, you might save here before you go in, because once you do go in, the gate will be inaccessible. It will have an invisible barrier and you will be unable to escape. You have to defeat him, otherwise you are unable to escape. And Regalian is no pushover, especially if you're playing on normal and you don't have enough experience. So make sure you do have. Basically has 1200 life, but I managed to defeat him quite easily. If you attack him fast enough, it shouldn't be a problem. Here you go. Once you're done, you basically report back to Lothar, and you also have this little piece of parchment that will tell you where to go if you want to become the Dark Knight. Lothar gives you a book that also gives you rhetoric and intelligence, which is always valuable in this game. We're now gonna go to the place where you start going towards an abandoned chapel behind owner's farm. Some people always have this difficulty finding it, but they never really explored that far behind owner's farm. They always go in the wrong direction. You basically have to go from owner's farm towards the camp where we left off the Assassin's Guild and just basically hug the wall, or you can even go on the path that goes further east from there. This part of the new part of the map is not on the visible parchment that you get, but you just, explore it yourself and see what you can find. The path is probably the easiest thing to take here, since there's a lot of weird beasts along the way, even a few mini bosses and shadow beasts. But as long as you keep on the track, there will be only a few boars, scavengers, and maybe a wolf or two. Now, since we're also getting there, I might as well tell you that the Dark Knight is, in my personal opinion, one of the least interesting classes. Mostly because it doesn't give you any additional quests, and what you get is basically a mix of strength and mana character building. And what you have to do is focus either on your own strength, or you focus on something that you spawn, like a helper, a pet, so to speak. I think the Dark Knight instructor actually explains it and shows what you can spawn. It's the only thing that you can spawn. I even activated one of the teleport stones here, since I'm gonna be needing it for later on. But yeah, once the horror cemetery has been done, this little ladder will open up in this chapel. If you haven't done it yet, then this ladder won't be here just yet. It appears later on. If you do want to join the Dark Knight, you have to give him the bundle that you took from Regalian, and then you basically ask what is this Dark Knight guild that he is talking about. The Dark Mantle will now show you how to spawn a minister, or dark servant as he calls it, and this thing is very powerful. You can get a lot of HP and a lot of toughness, or armor in this case, for him to help you in battle whenever needed. To join the Dark Knights, however, you need to kill an actual paladin that will spawn near the Dead Harpy Tavern just for this purpose. It is a weak one, but still don't underestimate paladins, they can be quite powerful. He doesn't even have anything to pickpocket, so you just kill him quite easily and finish him off. And that's basically it. That's how you do join the Dark Knight Guild. Go back, you can talk to the Dark Mentor. You'll get your first armor. You can also buy better armor later. But everything when it comes to the Dark Knight Guild, you have to buy. You have skills upgrade, you have life leech, as I think, and other stuff that might be useful. But as I said, the Dark Knight is also one of the least interesting guilds, since this is basically it. That was the only quest you needed to do. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button and subscribe for more future content.